If you're looking for a game that pushes the boundaries of tactics and cunning, these are not for you.
He was not yours to take.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 worst strategy games. For this list, we'll be looking at video games that either fell short of the standard of their previous entries, or were just so terrible that the word strategy can hardly be applied.
Mobilize the legions. Let us strike the first blow.
Number 10, Command & Conquer 4, Tiberian Twilight.
You have questions.
Oh, Kane, what happened? We were all for the Brotherhood of Nod. Why did it have to end like this? Serving as the conclusion to the Tiberium saga, this title was originally meant to be released as an online game for a very narrow market, only to be forcibly converted as the last entry in the series in order to boost sales.
I have a proposition.
Well, let's start things off with the doozy here. There's no base building. What the hell, EA? There's also an entire leveling system and save system that requires a constant online connection. What the hell, EA?
If you die, I lose everything.
Instead of improving on what made the franchise so great, this particular reworking fell very, very short. Kane deserved better. Hey, side note, I know that Kane is supposed to be immortal in the game, but that actor doesn't seem to age either.
Deny me if you must. But do so knowing that you doom this planet to an endless cycle of war.
Number 9, Stormrise.
It is safe. Repeat, it is safe.
This is the real-time strategy that tried to go up against Halo Wars, and spectacularly failed. While praise had to be given to the innovation of the narrative, with two factions going to war in a post-apocalyptic world, there just wasn't enough development given to everything else.
Our orders are to wait. Soon, he will be needing us.
With less than helpful controls and a camera that is definitely not on your side, the frustration you'll feel when you take on the Echelon or the Psy removes appreciation for the fairly decent landscapes, rendering, and unique aspects they're trying to put onto the table. Unfortunately, this one just ended up getting washed away to superior entries of the genre.
Gonna make me some freak salad.
You're the freak.
Number 8, A Game of Thrones, Genesis. Do not let the title fool you. This game does not share any of the thrills and wonder that you'll find in George R.R. Martin's book series or HBO's masterful adaptation thereof. Taking place over a 1,000-year period that eventually leads to the War of Five Kings, players choose to fight for one of the many houses, including Stark and Lannister, and battle their way through Westeros until they capture the Iron Throne.
Ready. I shall expel him.
All well and good, except that instead of thrilling battles and devious tactics, emphasis is placed on capturing nodes via a rock-paper-scissors mechanic, along with poorly designed campaign missions that essentially become a big game of hide-and-seek. Needless to say, winter has already come and gone for this title.
Perfect! We have driven the Lannister from these parts. Hopefully their murderous folly will now cease.
Number 7, Beyond the Law, the Third Wave. If you're dying to play a squad-based strategy game with an old-school feel to it, we recommend that you try out Commando instead, because this is certainly not up to par. Primitive in both design and execution, the game is divided into 20 levels over 4 areas, where players will find themselves battling what might be one of the worst versions of the Mafia in video games, period. Only a few of its classes are effective, but even then, the only mechanics you'll be using are running and shooting. Looting bodies, manually reloading, even jumping has all been taken away, leading to a bland experience lacking the grit and tension you would expect in a game that revolves around hostage situations and assassinations. Number 6, Outpost.
For thousands of years, Earth has been the cradle of human civilization.
You want to talk about ethics in video game journalism? Well, apparently, PC Gamer reviewed this stinker with an unreleased beta copy and were told that certain features would be added and certain bugs would be removed in the final version. So they gave it a 93.
Computer projections show that Earth is about to be devastated by a visitor from deep space.
Anyway, all of that was a lie, and the bugs that made it into the final version included things like the game suddenly ending due to transporting players to the wrong star system, all of the colonists suddenly dying, and leaving mechanics such as the ability to recycle your resources open to be exploited by the players. Even if you disregard all these issues, it's just plain unfinished. 93% my eye.
How may I be of assistance?
Number 5, Pirates of the Black Cove. Swashbucklers have not had it easy in the gaming community as of late, and this entry certainly didn't help their case. While the vibrant visuals certainly make you feel like you're traversing the Seven Seas, it suffers from repetitive gameplay of the most basic kind. Rapid clicking will easily do away with rival pirates on the ground and enemy fleets on the ocean, and from there it's a simple case of rinse and repeat. Even though you can upgrade your ships and build your crew, the lack of any real threat to your clicking onslaught only creates a sense of boredom. All the bad pirate jokes in the world cannot save this game from mediocrity. Number 4, Warhammer 40,000: Storm of Vengeance. With so much awesomeness and variety in the lore, creating an epic and thrilling real-time strategy packed with futuristic, hardcore combat should have been a cakewalk. That is not the case with Storm of Vengeance, which managed to squander an opportunity by turning it into a lane-based tower defense game, one that was completely unworthy of carrying the Warhammer 40k title. The compactness, lack of AI, and similarity to the other intellectual properties earned huge backlash from fans of the source material and just gamers in general. No wonder it was making the rounds on so many worst games of 2014 lists. I guess now is a good time to mention that this was developed by the same gang behind Ride to Hell Retribution. Eesh, you're 0 for 2, guys. Number 3, Left Behind: Eternal Forces.
Elliot, what you need is a big old hug from God.
In case you were wondering, yes, this is also based on the series of books that led to that horrendous Nicolas Cage film, but it doesn't get any better here. In this Christian real-time strategy game, players must battle against the Antichrist by going around and converting enemies to the ways of Jesus. Aside from the technical missteps that include less than decent graphics and unbalanced AI, this game was subjected to a whole slew of controversy.
As News Edge reporter Gloria Gomez shows us now, some religious groups are condemning this new video game.
The convert or kill mechanic is basically tasteless on its face, and that is not even taking a deep dive into some of the more shady bits of its design. As you'd expect, it frustrated fans of the genre as well as evangelical societies. Christian groups, of all people, were leading the charge to get this one boycotted. When your Christian game is found to be not very Christian and not very fun, you've basically done nothing right.
My bad.
Huh? Number 2, Gettysburg: Armored Warfare. Now we're reaching the bottom of the barrel. This online multiplayer was supposed to be a hybrid of a real-time strategy and third-person shooter, open to 64 players on a single server, with sea, land, and air units available for instant combat. That was what it was supposed to be. Instead, what players got was an unfinished mess of a game absent of any tutorial, with bugs so severe that it often broke the game only seconds after loading it up. The graphics were also incredibly poor, but due to the frequent glitches, you'll be lucky to get a glance before it even crashed. Due to its broken state, this real-time strategy was dead on arrival. Before we reveal our number 1 pick, here are a few dishonorable mentions.
A glorious fight! For glory! To fame and glory!
Serving under your command is such an honor for me, Colonel.
Well, let's leave the formalities behind and talk business.
Number 1, Stalin vs. Martians. When does a parody go too far? When you end up with a game like this. Originally meant to be a satire of World War II strategy games, this title is really quick to throw out some Soviet-based jokes, but is lacking in anything even close to resembling a real-time strategy game. Seriously, what is even friggin' going on here? Levels can range from embarrassingly easy to extremely tedious. The flawed AI may not even respond to your unit commands, not to mention the muddy visuals, invisible screen boundaries, and the 6 minutes of pointless aerobic cutscenes. Yep, that's actually a part of the game. It's ironic that a game that pokes fun at strategy titles would end up having no redeeming value as a parody. Do you agree with our list? Which strategy game do you think is the worst?
Select your target.
With new top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.